Hello there, my name is Valerie White Williams, and today I am talking about the ninth house in astrology, and I will be talking about all of the placements. So the ninth house is up right next to the midheaven. And so to me, the house positions are way more important than the sun sign. I think of the signs as ice cream flavors. So where your sun or any positions is going to be is really talking about where you are planning to put your energy in this life. So we can take the house positions and divide them up so it makes a bit more sense. So the horizon line, so here's your rising where the horizon is. Everything below the horizon underneath is more of a personal nature. You're involved in more personal things. And then everything above the line is more collective. And then we're also focusing on the right and left quadrants or the halves of the chart wheel. So everything that's on, I'm right now, it's showing the left, but everything on this side of the wheel, which is the right side, is more personal and extroverted. It's more about people. You're relating to people. And everything on the left side is more of an introverted focus. So the ninth house is about people and it's about the collective. And so we put that together. We're talking about philosophy, religion, traveling, cultures, language, all of that, all the thinking things that people collect. So the interesting thing about the ninth house is we can look at the house on the other side, which is the third house. Third house is all about what you personally feel, what you personally express, how you personally communicate. So on top of that, the ninth house is really about what we think, what we communicate, what our thoughts and feelings are about culture and language, traveling, world fairs, how people think about philosophy and the traditions of cultures, including religion and law, philosophy, things like that. Higher education as well. So that's the ninth house. And I'll be honest, I'm going to share right away. This is probably one of the hardest ones because I have a full ninth house. I have a stellium with 4 planets in there. So I'll try not to make it about me, but to help you understand if you have the ninth house planets. So we are going to start with the sun sign. So the sun sign is your hero's journey. It's here what you came to achieve, and it's what your biggest gift is. Now, because it's your hero's journey, it's maybe not going to be easy for you. It's something that you're striving to share with humanity. So people that have a sun in the ninth house probably love studying. You're a great student. If you're not going to college and studying in a college way, you are probably going to educate yourself in other ways. You might be somebody who's always researching things, has passions. You may love languages. You just have a passion to learn and to understand, maybe more than just learning, to understand humanity and religions and all these things that talk about our commonality. Even though we have different languages and cultures, we still come together as humans in what we feel. So people that have the sun in the ninth house are dedicated students of life, and they love to learn. And it really depends, of course, on the sign. I call that the ice cream flavors. So I'm a Gemini. And I have amazing, lots of hobbies and interests. I won't even bore you with my nerdy qualities of studying languages and philosophy and everything. So that's something. And then if your sun is there, you're probably most likely to be a teacher because that is the house of education. And so probably a lot of teachers, whether you're a formal school teacher or you're just educating people, you love to share knowledge and learning. So that is the sun in the ninth house, and we'll just say it's something else. We'll use another astrology. Let's say it'll be Aquarius. So Aquarius, that's going to be the professor, because Aquarius is a bit more fixed. It's a bit more structured. So that would be the absent-minded professor that is educating you about different things. And he's going to be, or she's going to be the professor that you're going to really learn a lot from. And then I'll do one more. I'll talk about Taurus. So Taurus, the ninth house. Taurus is more earthy. It's fixed earth. But Taurus is still going to be structured and add some structure. So you might love cooking or food or gardening and being fascinated how to set up things that are physical but still have that ninth house flavor of structure. There's a bit more structure to Taurus, but you're still going to have this fascination with world culture and spirituality. All right, so now I'm going to go on to the moon sign. Now the moon sign is different than the sun sign because the moon is reflective. So with the sun sign, you're going for your passion and learning and growing. That's your passion in life to share. But with the moon sign, it's something that comes naturally for you. You don't even have to try. It shows up. It's like the moon. The moon is reflective. And your moon sign is also where you nurture yourself, where you give yourself comfort. And so the moon in the ninth house is going to be for people that feel comfort, probably going to church. You might be really interested in spirituality and feeling this sense of the embrace of that philosophy or world religion. You may be really comforted by your own religion that you grew up with, or you might be that person that is going to discover another source of spirituality from another place. And it's going to be simply easy for you. You have this sense of passion for that. Now, it's not only religious thought or philosophy, but it's also traveling. So traveling the world, experiencing different cultures is also something that might be really comfortable for you, because you might feel at home overseas because you just have a passion for people all over the world and you're comforted by that. And you may be comforted by reading. So not everybody has an opportunity to travel, but you might read books about the world. You might read about cultures that are not yours. And that's going to be a way where you're going to experience or feel that reflective, nurturing quality of learning about the cultures of the world. And I admit too, I also have moon. I have my moon in the ninth house as well. And I was a huge bookworm growing up. I was teased all the time. I read all sorts of books, all sorts of subjects. I loved studying religions when I went to college. And people teased me, but I didn't care. I did not care at all because I just loved it so much. So that is moon in the ninth house. Let's put in some astrology signs. We'll put Scorpio. So Scorpio in that ninth house is probably going to be very intense. It's going to be that student that's going to ask questions about things. Like when I studied religious books of the Bible, or when I studied the religions of the world, when I got into Tantra, that was going to be that student who's raising their hand saying, I want to learn about Tantra, and that would probably be Scorpio. That would be that person. And let's do Virgo. So Virgo in the ninth house, it's more about learning some of the rules. So Virgo is a bit more rule oriented and it wants to organize things. So Virgo in the ninth house might be some person that is still interested in the spirituality and philosophy, but they might be more legalistic. They might be more of that lawyer that's studying laws, because those things are also going to be part of that ninth house. So there'll be a little bit more structure and organizing in that place, but you still have that reflective quality that maybe comforts you, believe it or not, that you understand the truth and kind of what people think in the world. Okay, so now we're going to move into Mercury. So Mercury is the mental body. It's how you think. It's your thought processes, how you communicate. Because you communicate what your brain thinks, right? What your brain is interested in being focused on. So Mercury in the ninth house means you are probably a huge nerd, okay? You love to think, you love school, you love to learn, you love to have your brain ruminate and learn and just constantly learning. You were probably fascinated with world religion, you're fascinated with any kind of schooling, and you probably would love to travel the world or travel and learn about the world, have a huge appetite. And yes, I'm also a Gemini in the ninth house. So that was me, super nerd, love languages. Yeah, I was teased, but I didn't care because I still loved it. So that's Gemini in the ninth house, but let's put in Sagittarius. So Sagittarius is a bit more fiery, it has a lot more energy. So Sagittarius is probably going to be that world traveler, and you like to use your mind. So you want to travel so you can get that intellectual exercise and see how the world works and use your mind to structure. The people that have Mercury in the ninth house are very mental, and they love to learn and they love to teach. So people in that ninth house are great teachers. They have the mental process to break things down and help people learn and give their students information that will probably last a lifetime. And they love that because they want to take from their brain and put it into their brain. So it's this transfer of brain power to that ninth house, because there's more to learn. There's never enough. And that's what people who have Mercury in the ninth house, there's always more to learn. There's always more to learn. So they're lifelong learners for sure, in all sorts of subjects. And yeah, so that's how it is. So now we're going to go into Venus. Now Venus is the emotional body. It's about relationships and feeling okay and allowing your emotions to flow. And so when you have Venus in the ninth house, well, guess what? You love learning too. You love learning too, but it's actually, you have relationships there. So there's a lot of relationship building in the ninth house. So a lot of times where Venus falls is where you're going to find your friends and perhaps your lovers, because you have that common emotional bond in that area, which is really interesting. So people that have their Venus in the ninth house love learning, and it's passionate for them, and they probably will find people that share their friendship. You might have great friends. So it goes to show that if you're going to go to college, you're probably going to maybe marry a partner who was a colleague or a friend or somebody that you travel with together. In fact, Venus is loving to travel as well. Travel the world, experience, the emotional bond with others, and traveling together and experiencing the world with that. Yeah, so the ninth house is amazing. And guess what? I know, it's redundant. I have my Venus also in the ninth house. I did marry my college boyfriend, and I have tons of friends from college. So that is also something that's true. So I'm also Gemini too. I'm totally Gemini. So excuse me, I'll try to keep it down. But other signs can be in the ninth house as well. So let's put in Pisces. So say Pisces is in that ninth house in Venus. So that would be somebody who loves to learn, but they're probably more focused on creativity. So people that have Pisces in Venus in the ninth house, they could be artists, they could be potters and painters or dancers, or they're enjoying that sort of art form, because Pisces is very creative and very spiritual, which is the other side of Pisces, is that you could be really deeply studying yoga or some other spiritual training, and it's just have a passion with your emotions, it really calls to you. And so that's just another variation. It's kind of like variations. It's very, very fun. So now we're going to go to Mars. Mars is the active force. That is your physical body. And so people that have Mars in the 9th house have a passion for learning, and they usually like to learn physically. So they are taking on that physical energy of learning. So you might, again, traveling again, that world traveler, you're going to travel with your body. You might be climbing mountaintops, or you might, hike around Europe. And then if you are a student, you're going to college. My daughter actually has her Mars in the 9th house, and she is training to be, or now she is a teacher in elementary school. So that's another example. Being an elementary school teacher and training to be an elementary school teacher is very physical. So my daughter was also a theater arts major, which is very physical. You're working with physical props, and you're using your body in theater, and you're using your body in teaching young kids. And so that's another example of Mars in that 9th house, is that you still have that passion for learning and travel. My daughter actually went overseas and went to France as well. So that also, that energy of physicality, and you're learning, but you're using your body to learn. So that's how it works for that Mars energy. Yeah, and there's lots of ways to learn where it's not in a classroom. You can learn all over lots of ways to learn all kinds of different purposes and things to do. All right, so now I'm going to talk about Jupiter in the 9th house. So Jupiter is one of the outer planets, and it doesn't affect our personality as much, but it does have some influence. And the Jupiter influence is benevolence. It's kind of like a fairy godmother that says, hey, you can succeed in this, and it gives you opportunities. So Jupiter in the 9th house would say that you have some great opportunities for learning. You will probably enjoy learning, but it might be on your own terms. And sometimes you might hesitate to get into the learning, but once you go there, you're going to go, oh, this is it. This is some opportunities. So 9th house Jupiter is meaning that education is going to open up doors for you. And those doors you need to walk through, because it might be something that you resist, but then you're going to go, whoa, yes, this is for me. And it's, again, you're going to do it in your own way. Now, that's where the sign is going to come into play, because say you're going to go in and you are a Aries. So Aries is super active and it's very energetic. So Aries in Jupiter in the 9th house could mean that you are, again, Aries is very physical, and you're going to go and study things that have a physicality about it. And so you might have an excellent karma. So sometimes I think Jupiter is like karma, good karma. And so where Jupiter is in that place, you're going to find great teachers that are going to nurture you. So if it's Aries, you're going to find somebody that, say you're going to be a physical education teacher or a coach. That's what you want to do. You want to teach others. And if you have that Jupiter in there, you're definitely going to get the teacher karma. You're going to, or I don't mean that in a bad way. I mean good karma. You're getting a good karma with Jupiter in the 9th house. And so again, it depends on the sign of what you are looking at. Now, my husband had Jupiter in the 9th house, but it was in Pisces. And he was a drummer, an artist, and he really did have some master teachers that totally changed his life. And it basically took him from one place and then he went somewhere else. It was that powerful. So Jupiter in the 9th house, you're going to attract those master teachers that are going to change your life. Now I'm going to go into Saturn. Now, Saturn is kind of like the opposite of Jupiter. Saturn is where we have to learn structure. And normally where Saturn shows up in your chart wheel, it usually is meaning something you really, really want, but you need to work hard to get it. And sometimes it's going to take till what we have the Saturn return, which happens at 28, 29, and then we have another one in our later 50s. And so that is going to say, okay, I'm here to do this and I'm going to do it. And so there's a sense of structure. My teacher, Connie Kaplan, calls Saturn the Time Lord. And Saturn is teaching us about time because we need that structure in order to get our goals in that wherever Saturn applies. So Saturn that's in the 9th house probably means that people maybe want to go to college, they want to study, they want to travel, but there's blocks. There's blocks that are keeping them from actually doing it. And so you really, really, really want it, but you have to put structure. You need to build structure. So it could be that you really want to go to college, your parents didn't have the money, so you had to get a job, but you really wanted to go to college and get a career and you know what you wanted to do, but it took you a while to get in, and then you're going to push hard and you're going to have to, plod along until you work hard to get it. Because you really want it, but it doesn't come easy, but you have to be consistent to get there. So Saturn in that 9th house, it means that you just have to persevere to get to your goals. So this would be classic for somebody who wanted to actually be a doctor, going to doctorate school, needed a higher education, and it's going to be this long time to get that degree, but you're very committed. This is what you've wanted for your life, and sometimes you feel like I'll never get it. It's just not going to work out. But this is the challenge of Saturn, is that you need to persevere through. And so that's what's happening in the 9th house with Saturn. And again, it depends on the degree. It depends on the sign. So let's say the sign is Leo. So Leo wants to shine. So you might want to be known as a professor. You want to have a big reputation. That's your goal. You have a dream of having some higher education, but you need to go forward and you need to get over yourself. And also with the sign, if you're a Leo and it's in the 9th house, you might feel like, I'm not really a Leo. I want to be a Leo. I want to shine. I want to show up that way, but it's going to take some time to grow into it. And you have to have structure. And usually the structure is structure that you need to initiate, not anyone else. You need to initiate that structure. So that is Saturn in the 9th house. So now we're going to go into Uranus. And Uranus is a planet of sudden inspiration. It's not hanging out there shocking you all the time, but it's something that you just kind of get this lightning strike and you go, I get it. This is why I'm here. This is why I'm here on the planet. So Uranus in the 9th house is going to get this enlightenment about humanity, because that's what we're talking about in the 9th house, is humanity and all the wisdom that's shared in common, which includes the spirituality and law and languages. And then you're going to get sudden inspiration of like, I love this. I'm part of this earth and I get it. So you're not going to be constantly there, but you just have this fun, inspirational, like lightning strike, and you get the beauty of that planetary placement. And again, the sign is related, but again, it's like ice cream, because again, these outer planets are not as influential to us, but they're like fairy godmothers that give us an awakening and go, oh, yes, that's right. I have this and I enjoy this and I should do this again. I should get a book. Okay, I'm going to be inspired to get a book and learn about whatever I'm fascinated with. and it has that sudden inspiration. Okay, so now I'm going to go into Neptune. Neptune is kind of that mysterious planet. It's related to Pisces. It's related to spirituality and mysticism. And my teacher, Connie Kaplan, refers to Neptune is where our birth group. So that all the babies that are born within the degree of your Neptune, yeah, and you're kind of working behind the scenes as babies. I know it's pretty weird, right? But it's cool. It's cool. So Neptune in the 9th house means that you are definitely interested in the more spiritual aspects of that 9th house, because there definitely is everything from philosophy to law to languages, but Neptune is more likely to be involved in the more spiritual aspects. You might be in a classical seminary, going to be a minister, or you might want to travel and learning yoga or going over to India and studying with some gurus. So that's really what that Neptune placement is you're definitely more mystical and more spiritually minded to get into those things. And you really are interested in also artistic, watery things. So again, I think of yoga, all those kind of, they're the people that have Neptune in the 9th house probably want to travel to Tibet and study with lamas and really learn all these mystical traditions of the world. Really fascinated. And if you can't travel there, you're going to find a lot of books or videos to really get that spiritual wisdom into you. And so it's very powerful that you're going to feel this is what I want. And I feel connected to the divine, because that's what Neptune is well. And then last I'm going to talk about, at least with the planets, is Pluto. So Pluto is a planet of transformation, and it's kind of what we call the death and rebirth. So how do you deal with just constant chaos? How do you rebuild that? It's kind of like the Persephone myth, where she had to go into the underworld, and then you're going to come out. So Pluto in the 9th house means that your underworld journey involves some study and learning and going outside yourself for answers that you can bring back to your inner journey. Again, that wisdom, all the wisdom, the Akashic records are all in that 9th house. And so you're going to try and get through that personally. So it's more of an internal placement. You're not going to be necessarily doing this in school, but inside you're going to learn, you're going to gather with you some depth so you can get through the crisis or whatever's needing this transformation through the 9th house. And that understanding is very deep, death and rebirth through that information in the 9th house, which is all the religion and all the things we've been talking about. And then you will be a transformed person. And again, travel can do that as well, because when you travel, especially to worlds that are very different, with different languages, you can't help but be transformed, because you come back to your home and it feels different. And that's really where Pluto is doing that transformative journey. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to talk about the nodes, the moon's nodes. So the moon's nodes are on a parallel existence. So there's the north node and the south node, and they're right across from each other. So the north node is where we are supposed to focus. South node is where we've been. So we're going to start with the south node in the 9th house. So the south node, if your south node is in the 9th house, that means that you have been involved in higher education for some time. That is kind of like a reflex for you. You're going to go back to wanting to be a professor or an educator, or you want to be a minister. But when you go there, it's comfortable, but it's not helping you grow. So what you're supposed to do is focus your energy to the other side, which should be in the 3rd house, which that means you should be focusing on your unique experience and your unique perspective, because the ninth house is all about our perspective. So if your south node is on that ninth house, it's okay to be there, but you need to focus on your uniqueness of your own ideas, which is really different. Now we're going to flip it this time. And so we're going to have the south node in the third house, and then the north node is in Gemini. So that would mean that you're more comfortable expressing yourself, and you have to have your own unique personality. But again, that's something you've done and it's easy for you, but it's not helping you grow. So if you're going to have the north node in the ninth house, that means that you're ready to take a back seat from your own opinion and your own beliefs or what you want to say and learn. Be open to learning all the things. It's like someone who wants to argue with the professor or something and say, well, this is what I think. But if you're going to go to college, and this is for somebody who has the north node in the ninth house, you want to focus your energy into that learning and exploring the world and getting a broader impression of learning versus your own opinion. Okay? So that is the nodes. And then next, I'm going to talk about Chiron. So Chiron is what they call the wounded healer. And Chiron is usually somewhat kind of a woundedness when you're a child. And then you're going to heal that. And then you are going to help others. So if you have Chiron in the ninth house, that means that maybe you felt you couldn't really be more educated. Like maybe you came from a family that says, yeah, that college is snobby, or maybe, we don't do that. And maybe you don't have money for that. Maybe you'll just get a job somewhere or do something, and then you feel like, wow, but I really want to go. I really want to learn these things, but then you get through that and you go, okay, you know what? I'm going to do it. I'm going to make my own decisions, and I'm going to heal that. I'm going to find that joy, and then I'm going to help others. So having that Chiron in the ninth house means you might be a career counselor. So you're going to help others or help them. Wow, I can help you travel, or I can help you learn all these things. And I've been there. I really wanted to learn and go to college, or I'm not just college, but any other training, but I needed some help. And you're going to help other people get the learning and the growth and all of that information in that ninth house, and allow them to allow it. So that's pretty exciting. Okay, so this was hard because I am such a ninth house person. It's hard for me to talk about it because it's so me. But I hope you guys can get this information. I hope it worked. And I'll be happy to get off the ninth house because it's just so personal for me. But I hope, even though I talked about my own planetary placements, I hope you got that message about the beauty of the ninth house and all this information. It's like a big library in the world, in the sky, library in the sky. That's what's going on. I like that. That's the ninth house, library in the sky. I could live there for days. All right, so I'd love to hear if any of this resonated with you guys. Please put it in the comments because these are hard and I love to talk about it. But yeah, please let me know if this resonated with you, and also make sure you subscribe and click on the bell so you get notified of all of my uploads, supposedly with YouTube. And also I want to let you know that I do have 2 passion projects on Facebook. The first one is YouTube Success Strategies, and that's where I'm coaching people how to be successful on YouTube. It's not only about making good videos, but a lot of other things behind the scenes. And then the other group is called Creative Soul Alignment, and these are groups on Facebook. And that's for people that are interested in spirituality and creativity. Because here's the deal, we're all spiritual and we are all creative. And so this is what we're here to do on our planet, is to create a world that works for everybody without creepy, unelected overlords trying to control everyone, right? So once we visualize this world and we can visualize it, we can't even speak to it, but we all have that vision, then we're going to change the world. So let me know. Keep that in mind, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye.